Hello, wonderful football lovers around the world. You're very much welcome to Let's Talk Football here on TAP TV. My name is Cyril Aloysius and I am your host. So we're very sorry. My deepest apologies goes out to those of you, our faithful viewers who have been looking out for this show last week, but for some reason, for some technical reasons, which we definitely had to attend to, we weren't able to come up for you last week, but we're sorry. But guess what? We are back here once again, and this time we are on ground and ready to roll. Mr. Victor Sioku at my left and Mr. Said at my right, here to do justice with me to the show. And very much welcome, Mr. Victor Sioku and Mr. Said. How do you see the World Cup going so far?
So far so good. That's been going very good for the game of football. And we have the experience we are having this year is quite different from what we had in 2018, which is more better than the 2018. Okay. And I feel that by 2026, which another World Cup coming up, I think that was going to be more lighter than this. But Qatar has been so sweet. So far so good.
I hear all the hotels in Qatar are 5 stars right now for all the teams that have been hosted. Mr. Victor, do you have anything to say concerning that?
Well, you know, I'm always coming through politics in a way, okay? Qatar is a blessed nation, okay? And you can see, if you try, we are in Nigeria, if you try to compare, can Nigeria host the World Cup, okay? You come to think of it, okay? Okay, so what am I trying to say?
I think we have to start from the Nations Cup first.
Okay. Can we even host the Nations Cup as it stands right now? Insecurity will not allow us. Money will not allow us to host the Nations Cup. So, but, Siri, you've started asking me questions. Now, bro, if you bring Qatar, bring Nigeria, we have almost the same, we have similarities. Okay. Religion. Nigeria is highly religion dominated. Okay. Qatari, they are highly, they love their religion.
Okay.
But you find out that these guys are using their religion well.
Okay.
No corruption like Nigeria. They are using their religion to better their society. Okay. Look at how everybody is happy in Qatar. Even the biggest economies are in Qatar and they are having the fun of their life. They cannot believe the roads that they have in Qatar, the physical infrastructure that they have in Qatar. Okay. So kudos to them, man.
Yeah, kudos
and
to
a very, very rich World Cup that we have. And come to think of it, see, at the end of the day, Premier League is not World Cup. Just like Ashake sang, Premier League no be UEFA. Premier League, UEFA, they cannot match the World Cup. And it's glory.
Okay. So on today's episode of Let's Talk Football, we'll be focusing more on the World Cup and, of course, the surprise eliminations, those teams that we felt or thought could make it to the knockout stages, you know, even up to the finals, who have already been knocked out from the group stages. We'll also be looking at those teams that progressed, those teams we actually wrote off, in quotes, that have progressed to the round of 16. So in Group A, we have the likes of Ecuador and Qatar that have been eliminated. I don't know what you make of that particular disappointment for the host and, of course, Ecuador. Mr. Said, what do you have to say concerning that?
First and foremost, although I don't know, maybe it has never happened in the history of World Cup whereby the host has to go out, although it does happen at times, not all. But in a situation whereby a host country is not even performing to the expectation. Because I feel that as a host nation,
they've been shambolic.
Supposed to have, of course, definitely. And what they should have done in the first place, they should have gone for a kind of a manager in the kind of somebody like Guardiola.
Okay.
No matter how, they should have performed. If you see their first match against Ecuador, they couldn't even take them to the wall. They couldn't even come out of their wall, their half. Throughout the match, they were like a kind of a second team. As a host nation.
But Sahid, let me ask you, sorry sir. Do you think that they can have a coach like Pep Guardiola?
Definitely.
Can Pep Guardiola say that he wants to go to such a club? Come on. This is not just only
exactly.
such a country.
This
is not just about money too. No matter how much you have, you cannot attract those big guys.
Because definitely Pep has his own, should I say, his own reputation to protect. Yes,
He wants to win
yes,
laurels.
he wants to win trophies, but then you look at the level in terms of talent. Yes, because that also counts.
Of
You
course,
can't
definitely
compare
it counts.
Qatar to likes of Spain and Brazil and come on.
Look, there's something like we call work in progress. Like if you have a team like Qatar coming into the hosting a World Cup, this is not just something that they started yesterday. Something that has been like 7 to 8 years now coming together. And if you see the crop of players they have, you can see that there's no this chemistry.
There's no chemistry.
Within the team.
Okay.
And there's no, they don't even know the kind of formation they play. Because it's like it's down to the manager. That's okay. Why am my team still performing poorly? Do you understand? So at the end of the day, when I look at the whole thing, I say, okay, look, everything has to do with the playing on the field. What they did in the first 90 minutes shows that they did not really perform. They did not really get ready for the World Cup.
All right,
they only perform. They only come here to participate. That's all.
Okay, so enough of Qatar now. Let's talk about Ecuador. What happened to Ecuador? You know, I believe the first time I actually spoke to you concerning this particular group, I think your predictions were Netherlands and Ecuador to make it through, but what happened? I think Senegal was there to upset.
I actually gave Senegal a chance during that our last.
But you weren't so sure.
I wasn't so sure because the fact that I saw the Ecuadorian, I know what the Ecuadorian can do.
Because they won Qatar 2-0.
Of course, definitely. No, apart from the fact that
they beat Qatar.
Forget about me. We know what happened to Qatar, but when they play against Senegal, you will see that no, they actually play their hearts out. But the only thing that's at times what I do
maybe
pass
luck.
Gary at times.
Maybe luck.
Luck is against them.
Okay. All right, and we'll say congratulations to the likes of Netherlands and Senegal who progressed to the round of 16. And in Group B, Iran and Wales were eliminated. Of course, what do you have to say about?
Definitely, those two are not surprising.
Okay.
Although I feel that we should have done more because the fact that they can actually have some top players in Europe playing in the top league. So I feel that they should have done. But Iran actually did they actually surprised me with their performance.
But
you know that they did not get the results. You understand?
Okay.
They performed very well. But the only thing is that again, there is a level you can perform with that will guarantee you the next knockout. I mean, to take you to the next knockout stage. But they did not do much. Okay. So I feel that maybe next time they can do more.
Mr. Victor,
come 2026.
Please, what do you have to say concerning Iran and Wales not progressing?
Well, I won't say that Iran surprised me because Iran did not really surprise me with their level of performance. Okay, because during the Asian Cup, they really performed well. Okay, and just like Mr. Sahid just stated, Wales could have done better because of the quality and caliber of players that they came to the World Cup with. Okay, and also
Ramsey,
Bale, and what's his name? The Man U guy. What's his name? That their winger. Man, I can't get his name again. That young boy.
Garnacho?
No.
Garnacho is not.
What is that boy's name, man? It's not up here. It's not coming
out. Can't really pick out the name now.
Okay, now,
okay,
but
that's this young talent. Yes. Sending out on I think he's
on loan or somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why can't we remember his name, Sahid?
I don't know. That's not a problem.
Damn.
All right. Okay.
So, but I also give it up for the US team. Okay. I also think that they have a bad team now than the last World Cup. But we also need to give kudos.
The Wales team?
No, the US team.
The US team, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
but we
definitely they are in the same group.
Yes.
In the history of World Cup, since the US have been qualifying for the World Cup, there's this kind of game they play when they come to World Cup. Even though if you look at their age brackets, they're not. I think the average age is about 24. So
yeah, they're very young.
They're very young. They're very young talents.
Yes.
And then they actually put up a lot of, the energy is there.
Oh no,
the
come
running
on.
is there. Everything.
You trust US with their athletic prowess.
USA, anytime, any day, they will always try to pull out a kind of, we are always one of the best in the
So do you see them as the dark horse in this tournament?
I don't see them going far. They can always perform maybe at the end of round of 16, maybe their years might be quarterfinal.
Really? Okay.
Of course,
We'll
definitely.
see about that. And saying kudos to England and USA for progressing as well from the Group B. Okay. So our next group is Group C, where we have Mexico and Saudi Arabia being eliminated. Is this surprising, Mr. Saeed?
Exactly.
Mr. Victor?
I think for the very first time we were watching a World Cup whereby non-European or non-South American beating Argentina in the World Cup. This is an Asian country that actually pull out that kind of surprise. So it's just like, if you see that game very well, they came out to go and play their hearts. They didn't defend. They countered them from the midfield, and even the message was like, it's more. I don't know. He couldn't perform that miracle that day. He was so tired because those guys like marking like who never play football before. And the second goal actually reminds me of Olise goal. It's a cracker. That was 1998
against Spain.
Against Spain. If you see that goal, it's like about 6 of Argentinian defenders were surrounding this striker, and he was like turning back and scored the goal, which is very. In fact, nobody expected that goal because it was so close. 2 goals that was like, like magic, and that is actually, in fact, the following day, Saudis
declared a public holiday.
Exactly.
They gave the players a latest edition of Rolls Royce.
Of course.
And so, do you feel that might have contributed to the laxity in their performances after that particular game?
No, there's always a starting point. I think they started something
because after that particular game, it was like they went back to zero.
No, it's just that the game plan against Argentina worked for them. That's the game plan.
From the second half of the game, because
yes, first half was so because there's nothing to run home about first half. But second half was like, look, you can play these guys.
After the ginger.
And if you look at them, majority of those guys, they are blacks. This energy is there to move forward. And if you go and look at the history of World Cup, anywhere you see blacks man, they will always perform in that team. That's what's happening to Canada and Australia too. Okay, I think it's only Australia that doesn't have black. I think so. Yeah.
And I think we have to give lots of credit to that man, Ronaldo, because minus that particular, let's just set aside the game against Argentina. Ronaldo actually has a history.
Of course,
definitely. He has a very wonderful history. AFCON titles.
Exactly.
Yes, with Zambia and of course with Ivory Coast. And it also qualified Morocco.
Yes.
Yes, for their, I think, the first World Cup or so.
The first World Cup, that was 19... So, that's not the first World Cup. That's their second World Cup.
Second World Cup. Yes.
Way back to...
But after a long while, though.
Exactly.
So the man deserves some credit. Mr. Victor, please, what do you have to say concerning this particular manager, Ronaldo?
Okay, exceptionally well. The internet went agog when they released the halftime, the video.
Speech.
Yes, when he was gingering his men to go out there and not just be looking at Messi. If they want to sign, if they want an autograph from Messi, is that what they want? And oh man, he really gingered them.
Why don't you just take a picture with him? You are in the 18-yard box and you're standing. You're standing just like that. You move. So and I think we also need to give credit to the interpreter himself because it is one thing for the same energy.
Yes.
The same energy.
Yes.
So he was able to transmit the same emotions as the coach was actually trying to transmit. So we're saying kudos to the transmitter himself, and of course it was a very, very welcome result for the Saudi Arabians.
And I give it all hands to Saudi Arabia. Okay. And why am I saying this? Because football, for you to be a footballing nation right now, you need to plan ahead of time. Remember back in the days, Saudi Arabia in the World Cup, you'd be expecting like 9-0. Remember Germany, what Germany did to them. So they have grown. And I expect Qatar to not rush things, take it easy. Make sure you are progressing as time goes by. Look at what is happening to Morocco. Look at Morocco, my brother. Who will believe that Morocco
will top the group?
Come on.
And they are the third African country to ever do that since Nigeria and Senegal did.
Yes. So
it's a nice one.
You need to just, it's not it shouldn't be an overnight thing. Okay, there should be progression. Look at Croatia. There should be progression, my brother.
Okay. So just before we move straight to the next, shocking result that I have here for you, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, more shocking results coming your way and more discussions coming your way. Please stay tuned.
Like you guys, huh? Except Salman, because now he can play, but the other one. Oh, what are we doing here? Saleh. Hey, this is a pressing. Pressing doesn't mean you will go high. Matip, last time, Messi, at the middle of the pitch, he has the ball, you stay in front of the defense.
كورة مع ميسي انت
You
قاعد
want to Ali to go to mark him in the middle?
تبغى علي يخرج يروح يغطيه ويضغط عليه.
Take your phone, you can make a picture with him if you want. Yes, but
جوالاتكم تتصوروا معاه.
You are in front of the defense. You have nobody. He's going to follow.
روح اتبع وقفل عليه.
With ball you were good.
بالكورة احنا كويسين.
Did you see what you did?
شفتوا ايش سويتوا؟
You don't feel something here?
ما حسيتوا بشيء الوقت المناسب اللي تضغط فيه وتكسب؟
You don't feel we are able to come back?
ما كان عندك احساس اننا نقدر نرجع ونعادل؟
You don't feel it? They play relax.
قاعدين نلعب مرتاحين.
Come on guys, come on. This is a World Cup.
رجاء شباب هذا كاس عالم.
Give everything.
نعطي كل شيء.
When you are at the edge of the box, you are like this.
قدام مرمى.
Be like this. Be concentrate.
ركز وعشان تسجلها لو جاتك الكورة تكون مستعد انك تلعبها وتسجل.
Cano was fantastic. So all of them like him.
كلنا نحن.
Allez, come on.
نكون زي
Move yourself.
يلا حرك نفسك يلا.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Football, and we'll be starting from Group D, where we have Tunisia and Denmark eliminated from that group. Mr. Said, what do you think? What do you make of that particular disappointing outing for Denmark and Tunisia?
Though I don't really have much expectation from
France
Tunisia.
and Australia made it out of that group.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was thinking Denmark would have taken the place of Australia.
There's been a force in the world of football. But this time around, I don't know what really happened to their team. Maybe there's not enough preparation, or maybe because at the end of the day, when people are trying to analyze their World Cup outing, they were like, no, it's also done with the preparation, because they've never played World Cup at the winter. At the summer like this in the past. So this is the first time that this particular major event is taking place at mid-season.
Okay, so you feel that in a way affected their performance?
It actually affected their performance. And if you see, it's not already then. I think it actually affected a lot of nations in the World Cup. Especially people that plays in the.
But don't you feel part of why they are professionals, are called professionals, because of they should be able to adapt to situations?
You're a professional whereby in an institution whereby you people are playing together. Like, I know where you went to move, I know where to pass to.
Okay.
I think it has to do with that, because if you see there's no question between the midfield and the forward, so that's why they couldn't be able to score enough. And then if you look at the only thing that I feel that actually did a lot of moving forward, then very easy for them is actually Brazil and France. Other things, they don't know when to move, when to pass, and to defend itself is hard for most of their defenders. So it actually has to do with that misses in tournaments.
Okay, Mr. Victor, what do you have to say concerning the Group D? The Group D teams that were eliminated.
Okay, I think Denmark, I wouldn't really say that they performed so bad. But if you also look at it, I think it's just you tossing a coin. You have Australia. That is, for me, it's almost at par in World Cup to Denmark. Okay, I also understand that back in the days, Denmark they did really well, especially when we met them in 1998, right? Yeah. And they really showed us shege. So, but if you also come to think of it, Australia, they are building. They are a very good team at the end of the day, and they have world-class players among them. So you can't just help it. When you have two good sides, one just have to go. As for Tunisia, unfortunately, they can never match up with these three other teams: France, Australia, and Denmark. So
Unfortunately, it turns out that they were only good enough for the AFCON.
yes, yes.
That's a sad one. Okay, over now to Group E, where we have Japan and Spain going through. Japan actually topped that group, surprisingly. Wow. And for the unlucky ones, Costa Rica and Germany, surprisingly, Germany going out of that group, going home from the group stages of this competition. It's a sad one. Mr. Victor, I'll be starting with you this time around. What do you make of this particular disappointing outing for Germany? Was it surprising? Was it something that you saw coming? Please say something.
My brother, it was surprising, the German machine and having Müller play his last World Cup.
Do you feel like Hansi Flick has run out of ideas? Because this wasn't the Flick we knew in Germany, in a Bundesliga, in Bayern Munich. Hansi Flick that we know. Come on.
You think it's about ideas, or just that the Asian samurai, the Japanese were just magnificent, and luck? You cannot also take away luck from football.
Yes.
Okay?
Luck definitely has its own part to
So
play.
Japan, the luck really shined on them, that really one team had to give way. And mind you, this is the World Cup. Surprises must happen.
Okay.
Remember what happened in Spain?
Okay.
Surprises must happen. So you can't help it, man. It just happened. And I wish them all the good luck. After all, come to think of it, they have tasted the crown before.
Okay.
They've tasted the crown. So you should allow others. Germany that will carry one team and they will disgrace you, that in fact your president will sack everybody and tell you don't even ever come back to this country.
It's a really shocking one. It's a really shocking one. You know, the likes of Jamal Musiala, Kai Havertz, Joshua Kimmich, top talents in the German team that we expected to see more of in this particular World Cup. Unfortunately, they got kicked out of the group stages.
They should feel the pain. They should
That's
have
what
a taste
I've
of
been
it.
feeling, right?
Yes, they should have a taste of it.
Okay, over to you now, Mr. Said, please. What do you have to say concerning this shocking outing for Germany? And the surprise topping of the group for Japan?
You see, this World Cup has actually been a kind of a surprise from the beginning till now. Germany going out, it's actually kind of a surprise to me. But while I'm looking at the first match they played, I feel that they can't go more. They can't go. They can't go further. The reason is that they lack one thing in their team. That is the midfield. The midfield is where the Germans has to operate. Okay. They operate from the midfield and they throw balls to the wings, and there's nobody to do that. They were just doing like tiki-taka. Who played tiki-taka? It's only Holland and Spain. It's not part of their game. Germans runs from the flank and play game. But in this game, there's no run. And if you still look at the kind of players they have, most of them are offensive players. Not that somebody who has that
creativity.
Like
the Mesut Ozil kind of player?
Ozil, what's his name? Cruz,
okay.
The only person I feel that he could have done more is Gundogan. But Gundogan is like a kind of, the kind of plays he does in Man City has actually affected his ball. So during his time at Borussia Dortmund, you can see that he played like a German. But now he's more like playing like a Spanish.
Apart from Ruben Diaz and what's his name? This other guy. David, the guy that plays for
Man City.
For Man City as well.
Okay, you mean
Bernardo Silva.
And what's his name?
Phil Foden that plays for Manchester City. Okay. I feel like De Bruyne and what's his name has actually let me down so far. De Bruyne and Gundogan. Look,
this. You cannot even,
because when you watch De Bruyne in Man City, it's not De Bruyne you're seeing in the Belgium national team.
Don't mention my brother.
What is it, fatigue?
It's not fatigue now. Teamwork. You cannot.
But he said that the Belgium team is too old to lift the trophy. That's what he said.
My brother, teamwork. If you like, only Messi cannot carry the league. Only Ronaldo cannot carry the World Cup.
Yes.
Only them cannot. If you don't have a good team, you cannot. You will play from. In fact, will you defend? Will you catch the ball? Will you?
A tree can make a forest, right?
Oh no.
Okay.
So it's not
No,
a surprise when they actually.
There was no cohesion there, bro.
Okay.
So Japan leading the group, and they actually deserve it.
Okay.
They deserved it.
All right. So on to the next one, which is Group F, where we had Morocco surprisingly leading that group. Morocco actually led that group and qualified for the next phase of the World Cup as leaders of Group F. Croatia followed behind them. And those persons who could not make it were Canada and surprisingly Belgium. Mr. Victor, I'll start with you again. What do you have to say? Belgium going home. Another surprise, should I say, top team to exit the World Cup tournament at these early stages. What do you have to say?
Another shocking revelation.
It's a shocking one.
Because come to think of it, Belgium, they are in the top affairs of FIFA ranking. Okay, and having them just be getting booted, just this preliminary stage of the World Cup, man.
So do you see this affecting their position in the ranking?
100% now. It will affect
because
them now.
I think they were first in the world at a point, and then they go back to second. So I feel like this particular early exit from the World Cup might actually drop them down to, let's say, number 7 or 8.
And it might just even destabilize the entire team.
Yes, because right now there is no unity in the squad.
It just destabilize them. Look at De Bruyne, like you mentioned. Look at Lukaku. Oh my God, that team might
Lukaku
just
is not
go
in
down.
good terms with Trossard at the moment. Trossard and Batshuayi. Yes, Hazard is also not in good terms with.
And I'm just asking, why would
De Bruyne.
Batshuayi come to the World Cup and be playing first 11 for crying out loud?
Questions you should be asking the
Said
manager.
it. Why would Batshuayi be playing top 9?
When you have a player in the caliber of Trossard who delivers week in, week out at the Premier League, in the top league like the Premier League, and you're keeping him on the bench for a player like Batshuayi, who hasn't been up there, there's something must be wrong. Questions need to be asked. Mr. Saeed.
Of course, definitely. You see, this golden generation of Belgium, man, I think what really happens to them is that the fact that you fail to do your own assignments,
Your homework.
it actually affected them in this World Cup.
The same homework that the England golden team couldn't do.
Couldn't do.
Okay.
See, when you have a caliber of player the Belgium have, you shouldn't bother yourself going here and there looking for goals or defending. But what they fail to understand is that ranking doesn't win you anything. Yeah, it can only put you like, okay, we respect them the fact that they win their matches, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't put on your normal performance when it comes to this high stage of football. So I think at the end of the day, they will regret what they did at the World Cup, because by the end of the month, I feel that the ranking will still come up.
Okay.
We'll see them. We will see where they will drop to.
Okay.
So maybe they should start. Maybe it has to do with the managerial stuff first and foremost. They have to look into that first, because this.
He has actually dropped. Martinez has actually
Definitely.
dropped from his role.
Definitely, but they.
Why must he drop now?
Why must he drop now?
Why didn't he drop since even before the
before
World
that,
Cup?
I remember very well that is the same coach that took them to 2018 World Cup.
Yeah, and they finished
And
third.
they finished third. So what happened this time around?
Their best ever finish.
Yes. What happened then? What happened to the Belgian team this time around?
Heat.
So I feel that although there's another thing still
The same heat that other teams are not feeling.
No, I don't
you
think it's
react.
the heat. I don't think it's the heat. Because if you have a top striker in Lukaku and you cannot be able to present it to the World
Please,
Cup.
when you say top striker, please. When you mention Lukaku, I begin to
No, definitely.
it irks my ears when I hear
really?
top striker.
No.
Lukaku is a top striker.
Did you watch Lukaku?
Oh, with
Forget
Chelsea
about what
and Man
happened.
U.
Not just with
Forget
Chelsea.
it.
Forget about what
Inter
happened.
Milan.
Not just with Inter
What
Milan.
about
You know
Inter
what's
Milan?
happening? It has
Lukaku
to,
is
it's down
top.
to his injury. And when you play football
So-
and you come back from injury, definitely it affects your game.
Mr. Said,
No matter how,
Mr.
you cannot be
Said,
sharp at that side.
Mr. Said, a coach that knows that this player is not 100% and keeps starting him.
Wait.
What do we call that coach?
Wait again. Is it Batshuayi that you're talking about? You paid Batshuayi for 2 games. How many goals did this score?
Why not try Trossard?
Trossard.
Yes.
Trossard is, see, let me tell you one thing about
Experience?
World Cup. See, when Ronaldo went to World Cup 1994, Ronaldo was sitting down on the bench, looking at Romano playing. But when it comes to Ronaldo's time, he went to the same World Cup in 1998 and he performed.
Okay.
But
So what's your point
he
exactly?
couldn't win it. It was after 4 years, 4 years later,
Okay.
he won it. So that's how you gather experience, not that you can just, like all these days now, people will just see team, just see country. Putting all these young talent together.
I
going
beg to
World Cup.
disagree on that because if it's about experience, then the likes of Phil Foden and Bukayo Saka shouldn't even get a start in the first place. Because these players are on the same level. They're on the same level.
Tested. These guys have been tested.
What
You know.
happened
And
to
Foden and Saka have been tested.
Has not been tested.
If you come from the space of national team, I won't agree with you that he has really been tested.
So why then would you invite a player that you will not use in the World Cup?
Do you know one thing?
Question.
Do you know one
Maybe
thing?
madridista.
That inexperience will still count. It will get to a stage that you need experienced player to play. Because when you think about experience and you look at France team, even small boy in France team, French team, they have experience of World Cup.
Chouameni.
Not even China has not gone to World Cup. This is his first World Cup. And you're talking about Mbappe.
Okay.
Mbappe won his World Cup at the age of 18 years of age.
Okay.
So if you look at that, it's an experience. You doing it at the highest level. So now look at what Belgium has done. I don't think they have that kind of that power to move forward. That's why they win.
Mr. Said, if not for the fact that I wouldn't want us to sleep on this particular topic, I would have said, why on earth would I, as a manager, invite a player to a national team for a big tournament like a World Cup without the intention of using him?
The same question I will ask you too, because the fact that for the whole of Belgium couldn't be able to provide like 10 different strikers, the whole of Belgium, even the people play, even though some of their players doing their trade at their local league. So you want to tell me that they don't have another player, another striker apart from Lukaku and all this Batshuayi? No.
But if you go back,
but the fact that the coaches have been like, these are my boys, and that's the kind of thing that plays.
And that is the weakness he's having.
No matter,
you can't be doing my boys in the major tournament like a World Cup.
There's this politics of my player.
But if you also go to their league, as in the Belgian league, you find out that most of their strikers there, many of them are even Nigerians and blacks. Their indigenous players do not really play there anymore. They go to different countries.
Okay.
Check their national team, for instance, and it's not like they don't have a good league. Belgian league is still very competitive.
Okay, so let's move over now to our next group. Second to the last, this is Group G, where we have Cameroon and Serbia as the runners-up of that group, sadly, and Brazil and Switzerland were the winners of that group. Brazil finishing top of that group and Switzerland following behind. Any surprises, Mr. Victor?
Well, the Switzerland and Serbia game yesterday was just so sweet. Man. It was incredible, right, Sahid? It was incredible.
Very nice to watch. Because it was
high energy, right?
Yes, and it had politics.
It was
buried in politics too.
It got to a point. I feel that should be one of the best game they played for the World Cup.
Right.
Because if you see the kind of goal, the goals that they actually scored yesterday, you will feel that no, this is a top match. This is a top match. So I really give it to them. But Switzerland qualifying, it actually makes the whole thing so it doesn't look so easy for them. Okay. But when you look at Brazil, other game, they actually benched some of about 9 of them. Okay. And their first 9 players. Okay. So it makes it easier for Cameroon to actually, because I know that if actually finishes this is at that game, that left guy will have suffered a lot, because even the guy that actually played with him, he was actually gassing. He was already, in fact, he gassed out. Where you actually complain that he has injury. I know that it's not, but I know that on the first half, Rangers will have wrecked this guy, because he kind of, the guy know how to run very well.
And one cool thing, will I say cool? Oh yeah, one thing that really struck me about the Switzerland and the Serbia game was that politics was just up in the air. Remember, if you remember the last World Cup, this guy was almost sanctioned. Xhaka was almost sanctioned, because of he made some kind of celebration with what's his name, Shaqiri.
Okay.
with respect to their Albanian roots.
Okay.
Should I do small politics? No. But yeah, the two countries, Serbia and Switzerland, especially the part where Jakarta comes from, they have a Albanian heritage.
Okay.
And a part of Serbia does not want to let go their people, okay, inside Kosovo. Well, that is politics for our people to learn. But yeah, it caused so much frenzy in the game that they came out with blood and sweat to make sure that one side wins.
Okay.
And as Switzerland won, in fact, Switzerland, when they won, this guy came with, is it Parejo? He wrote a particular name at the back of his inner vest. Okay, as in, what's his name? Jaka. Okay. And he was parading with it, and it really caused some tension, because that name was the name of a militia, Albanian militia. That was the name at the back of his jersey, not his jersey, his inner vest. Then they now asked him, why are you showing off this man's name? He said that one of their teammates is also bearing this name. That's the reason why he's wearing the name. But we'll see what FIFA will do to him. Let's find out.
But do you see that as Xhaka deliberately looking for trouble?
Yes, because he did it the previous time. Okay. And you know Xhaka can be, is he not an Arsenal boy? He can be very troublesome.
He can be troublesome. Yeah, he has a record.
But this one, he really planned it out. He really planned it out to use the same name that his fellow teammates.
I bet you, if Switzerland had lost that game, you wouldn't have done that.
Of course,
he
won't have come out with that kind of
nonsense. Okay, so our last group here is Group H, where we have Ghana and Uruguay, two beefing countries running out of that particular group. And Portugal and South Korea. Surprisingly, South Korea qualifying from that particular group. Mr. Victor, with you again. What do you make of this surprise result for South Korea? I think Son Heung-min actually broke down on tears of joy after the win over Portugal, handing them their first, handing Portugal their first defeat since the group stages of this competition. So, what do you make of that?
Why won't Son cry? Did he see that pass? That killer pass that divided the Red Sea.
Oh my God.
So now you have someone like what was their name again? Portugal. They knew that they had already qualified.
Yes.
So nothing, no string, nothing. They were just doing their thing. Okay? But South Korea, they were off the roof. Then what about Ghana and Uruguay? I blame Ghana. Aside the penalty that they missed, that Ayew missed, Ghana came with revenge mind.
Which is wrong.
Football shouldn't be about that kind of emotion. Come out and play your game.
Which is wrong.
Bring the ball down and play it. You are coming with anger and rage.
But can we really separate emotions from football?
My brother.
You know, football is more than just a game. Over the years, if you've been following up, football comes with so much passion.
Yes.
So
if you also allow that to cloud you, you forget you forget the purpose you are there. You forget the plan, the game plan, and all that because you are trying to prove a point.
A point, okay.
And they lost, and they beat them, and they beat them very well.
I think it's part of their game plan.
Okay.
Yeah, that revenge. And I said this in our last edition that look, if Ghana is actually coming for revenge,
they might get
they will cut definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly what happened to them yesterday. I think that they actually came out and said, okay, look, this World Cup, we actually come here to come and perform. Not that we come out with any kind of revenge. Look, this is what we want to do, and this is our game plan. So they forget all those things and they actually want to look at. And then if you look at the sweetest part of that is the fact that the two of them they were eliminated at the same time.
Yeah.
You understand? And when I look at the whole team, I saw this guy crying at the bench. Suarez. He would have done magic yesterday. I think that on that field. But I don't know why coaches, some coaches they don't know what to do when they are to play some matches. Some guys will win you match at the dying minutes.
There are players that are called match changers, match winners.
But they were winning 2-0.
They were winning 2-0.
Had it been the one up to 4?
Had it been that Suarez is already in that field, is on the field during that time of injury time, they will have done something.
Yeah.
Because I know Suarez, I know something. I know something about this Suarez. He always wants to do like somebody who always perform miracles. But in the end, he was crying. He felt that although that's his last World Cup, this is his last World Cup.
Yes.
So it's not. I don't think that he will ever come back for.
Yes, this particular World Cup is going to be the last World Cup for many football stars, and I think, not surprisingly, for many of us who really know the age bracket of the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, Neymar, Hazard, the top stars, this particular World Cup might just be their last. So this is just the last dance for many of our football stars, and I'm feeling so sad right now because
what about them bringing in Messi next time?
Oh my
it's
God.
Still possible.
Messi?
Yes, now.
You see Messi.
You know why?
To the next World Cup.
Why? They can just tell him, Messi, just stay there, just stay. Are you getting me? Because at the end of the day, you're talking about 23 players.
I don't think Messi will ever even want to present himself at the camera, in front of camera anytime soon, or maybe in the future World Cup. I don't think so, because he has done a lot. He has given a lot to this game. So I don't think
man has nothing to prove anymore.
Of course, definitely. Even Ronaldo said,
I just want them to win this World Cup.
One of them should just win this World Cup.
Of course.
I want Messi to win it.
I want Ronaldo to win the World Cup.
I feel that none of them will win it. Yes.
Man, it's better. It's better. They should not. None of them should win it.
Let me tell Argentina team right now. The only thing they can do is to perform miracle. They don't have that team. They don't have that team.
Because
even Portugal. Just imagine removing.
Portugal still have midfield that can perform them for them. The reason is that they have a young
one-man show.
The young talent.
Fernandes
is there.
One-man show.
Fernandes is there. Bruno is there. They have like 3 of them that can actually. If you see the goal that they were even claiming for Ronaldo that day.
Yeah. But they later
if
gave it
to
him.
If you see the way he actually he played the game, you will see that this guy is actually one of the he's next Ronaldo for Portugal, because he has been like he always like that's the way Ronaldo
was up there.
Exactly. That's the way he used to play.
And that goal. That is a
Ronaldo
Ronaldo kind of goal too.
Exactly. He always give that 100% when it comes to the Portugal team.
Okay, football lovers, thanks for staying faithful to your screen up until this very time. We'll go on a quick break right now, and when we return, we'll briefly talk about the teams that made it to the round of 16, and then we'll call it a day on today's program. Please stay tuned. All right, you're welcome back from that short break. And today's game in the round of 16, we have the Netherlands playing the USA and Argentina up against Australia. Mr. Victor and Mr. Said, what do you make of this particular fixture? In the game against Holland and USA, who do you see coming out as victors in that game?
I think US is going to surprise Holland.
You
they will
think
surprise
so?
them, definitely. They will surprise them. Because the fact that what they played in the round of the group stages, actually it's very, very impressive. So I feel that they will still surprise Holland. And Argentina, they have not been that fantastic for the competition. But I feel that they can still edge out Australia.
Okay, so how about you, Mr. Victor? What do you make of this particular
Just
fixture?
like Mr. Sahid says surprise. I like the word surprise, but I don't want to use surprise this time around between Netherlands and USA. Okay? Netherlands will beat USA.
Okay.
That's
your prediction?
Yeah, my own prediction. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any specific scoreline in mind concerning that particular fixture?
My brother, I'm not good with scoreline, but I will just say 2-0.
Okay. How about the game against Argentina, between Argentina and Australia? Argentina win. What if Australia wins? Okay, that's a story for another day. And another interesting game in the round of 16 is Japan playing against Croatia, Brazil up against Korea.
Croatia, anytime in the day, I always stand with Croatia. Because
To
they've been
defeat
there.
Japan.
Definitely.
Okay.
Don't forget about what Japan has done in the group stage. This is what they call experience.
Why should we forget about it?
You will not forget it, but the fact that there's a time that your experience will count for you. I feel that Croatia has been there. They've been to the highest level of this competition.
The same experience that could not save the likes of Germany and Belgium?
No, Germany didn't prepare for this World Cup. Germany did not prepare for this World Cup, seriously. So against Brazil, against what's it called?
Korea.
I feel that Brazil will still carry the day because
Mr.
it might not be that easy for
Mr.
them.
Said.
It's not because if you look at the game the Brazil has played so far, they've not been able to score in the first half, and when they come out second half, they always come on fire.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Mr.
that's why I
Said,
feel
remember
that,
how you were writing up
exactly.
some
I
things
did
in
not
the group
write.
stages?
I did not write something. But I only told you that.
You remember how you did it in the group stages and they ended up shocking you?
They shocked me.
Yes.
The one that shocked me is just Saturday against the other ones that did not shock me.
Okay.
So I feel that anybody can pull out a surprise.
Okay.
So playing against Korea, it will not be that's something that's because if you talk about defense, they are there. The midfield, they are there. The attack is there also there. So forget if you are on the normal day, Brazil will beat them. But there's always surprises in the World Cup. So anything can happen.
Yes,
but
this is the World
I will
Cup.
still stand with the Brazil.
All right, Mr. Victor, please say something about this fixture.
I think it will be a surprising match day. Okay, so I do not want to just give it to the big guys. So, but for the Brazil South Korea game, I give it all for Brazil. Okay. Yeah, I give it all for Brazil.
Okay.
But
so you're not really sure about the Croatia-Japan game?
Japan. I give
Japan.
it to Japan.
Okay.
Croatia, yes, they are improving. Mind you, the first game they did not really show that they had the medal last time. Okay.
No, what happened? Eventual
The game against Belgium?
Morocco.
Morocco.
You could imagine that. Look at what Morocco did against Croatia. It's the same momentum they carry to the third game. They've been Morocco is just like a kind of underdog. There are nobody even.
So you can say the pressure is less on Morocco.
Definitely.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't think that you just look at Croatia. Croatia has been like a compact team right from more than 8 years now. Okay. They have been together and they performed very well this World Cup. Really, they really performed very well. If you see the game against Canada, the way they carried themselves from that 1-0 down and they end up winning the game, you see that no, this is the case. This is the team that you always count on any time, any day.
All right. So let's look at the following fixtures there. We have England up against Senegal.
That's another surprise I'm going to...
Yes, and France up against Poland.
Definitely.
So we'll start with the game between England and Senegal. Mr. Victor, what is your take on that game?
Well, for the purpose of
surprises?
I'll just give it to Senegal. Okay, it is like me tossing the coin.
Okay.
One part of me is saying England will beat them black and blue,
Okay.
but I will just give it to Senegal and then hope that France will do their bidding.
France, right?
Yes.
Okay. I like the everybody's looking away from Poland right now. Said, please, what's your take on that particular England and Senegal game?
I don't think that England has that power to match Senegal.
Really?
Honestly.
Really?
To me, I feel that Senegal is one of the teams that people they just overlook them that this one cannot be. But inside them,
But they're
they have
African
that
champions.
spirit. They have that spirit in them that, look, we can match anybody in the world.
Do you feel Senegal is underrated?
Of course, definitely.
They are the African champions.
Even without their talisman,
Mane.
they are still a force. Even before they World Cup, I said that, look, these people will get the most at least reach that semi-final that Africa has not yet gotten to. But the fact that they have minus money in their team is a lot of...
It's a big loss.
Exactly. So I feel that...
Sadio Mane, why?
But his injury cannot, unlike that Benzema, because I heard the news that Benzema is still coming back to national,
Yeah, so I
France
heard.
national team. So definitely, I feel
It's a big plus for France.
Of course, definitely, because any team that has Benzema inside their team has a kind of
an edge.
Yeah, an edge over the other team. So like England and Senegal, I just still give it to Senegal because Senegal will always do them something that's no other team can do.
Okay, so you're not giving Poland a chance against France?
No, not at all. Poland can
Okay.
They can only do what they can do, like defend.
Okay.
But they cannot match France.
So you feel the presence of Lewandowski in that team it's
Lewandowski,
nothing to
even when
be scared.
Lewandowski, I expect Lewandowski to play against Argentina. Look at the way they played. They were even lucky to qualify, honestly. Because I would have given it to Saudi. Saudi actually played in their group. Saudi played their hearts out throughout the game. Throughout their 3 games, they played their hearts. They don't defend like other teams defend. They play you match to my but if you know game of football is just like block still has to work for you. You understand? So I think at the end of the day they couldn't go further, but I still give them. In fact, I take them ahead of any other all those eliminated teams.
All right. So that is for that. And Morocco are playing against Spain. Portugal are up against Sweden.
It's gonna be late. Morocco, Spain. They are not African country, so they know how to play like European team.
Morocco actually topped their group.
Yes. So if Spain, although they have not played Spain, no. If not, I don't think they've ever played Spain in the past.
Yeah, I think so too.
They have not played Spain in the past. So I feel that it will be hard for any person to come out and say, okay, Spain has the D. No.
Because after Spain won their first game 7-0, their first group game 7-0, it was like, okay, they would just go all the way, defeating everybody. Exactly. But after that game, they were looking like the team we saw in the first game.
That's the way Spain used to carry themselves. But if you look at the class of players they have these days, they're not like on that 12 years ago when they won the World Cup. They are not like that.
2010.
Because this is a team that has the combination of Barcelona and Madrid team. Both teams are like, in fact, the teams are like the best when they are playing their Clasico, the best match in the whole world. So if you can slot in within those two things, definitely if you win the World Cup and that same year, no, give it to them. But this time around, they don't have that kind of players. If you look at their midfield, they're very porous. I cannot just, in fact, if you give them Saudi Arabia will beat Spain. I'm
really?
Serious.
Are you serious right now?
I'm telling you, because physicality is there. Saudi has their physicality. I'm telling you, look at, I'm not that, I'm not saying that they are not a team. Look. So, see, in fact, I wish that they are in Saudi's group. Because the same thing they did against them would have what they would have done to Spain. Yes.
Wow.
But let's hope that Morocco carry the day, because I want African countries to be part of the round of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Victor, Said said if Saudi Arabia should play Spain, that Saudi Arabia will beat Spain.
Of course.
Please, what's your take on the game against Morocco and Spain?
I beg you, Morocco and Spain. You know, the two countries have a very, in quotes, close but not close ties. Reason? Because that is a route. Come on, I'm sorry, I don't go geography, but that is a route between where people are being abducted, or what do you call them now? Being moved from one region of Africa to the other. That's an escape route for many poor Africans. Okay, Morocco to Spain. Okay, there is this funny thing about let's say these traffickers that they will advertise that, saying that see Morocco, see Spain, so that you come and pay them so that they can traffic you from Spain to from Morocco to Spain. In fact, in Igbo they say le Morocco, le Spain, le Morocco, le Spain. But the reality of things is that it is never an easy route. Exactly. Okay, so in terms of sports, I want Morocco to beat Spain black and blue, so that their route, they will block that route very, very well, so that our African people will not die going from Morocco to Spain. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So how about the game between Portugal and Sweden?
It's another tough game. Anytime, any day. You know, Portugal is always a force in the world of football. So I feel that no matter what, Portugal will do everything to make sure that they qualify. Even Ronaldo is not playing at the peak now. Ronaldo is already, he's actually, before next World Cup, I don't think he will be there. I think this should be his last World Cup. So I think they will do everything possible to qualify. At least if they could not even win that World Cup, at least they didn't get to the semi-final. I think that's what I can place for Portugal.
Okay.
And Sweden, I don't think that they can do much.
So what's your prediction for that game?
I will go for 2-0 Portugal.
2-0 Portugal. Yeah. Mr. Victor, what do you make of that game?
Portugal all the way. Portugal all the way, man.
Okay.
Sweden no follow.
Okay. To my ever watching and present viewers, don't forget you can also be a part of this show. You have your own predictions to make. You feel okay, any of these teams would actually upset any of the teams here. You could actually make your own predictions in the comment section. Like I said before, Netherlands are playing against USA. Argentina are playing against Australia. Japan are playing against Croatia. Brazil are playing against Korea. And England against Senegal. France against Poland, Morocco against Spain, and Portugal are playing against Sweden. So bring on your predictions in the comment section, and we'll definitely reply to them in our next video, our next post. Okay? Thank you so much, Mr. Saeed
Thanks,
and Mr. Victor, for your time with me on the show today. I really do appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate your presence today. And I also appreciate you, my wonderful viewers, who have been there, faithful to your screen up until this very time. Without you, this show will be possible. And I'm saying thank you so much. But unfortunately, this is where we have to draw the curtain on Let's Talk Football for today. My name is Cyril Aloysius. Please make sure that you follow us on all our social media platforms. You enjoy this show, you love what you're seeing, click subscribe. And after clicking subscribe, make sure you turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever we come online and drop our new videos. And also do also follow us on our different social media platforms. You can check us out on YouTube, we are TAF TV. On Instagram, we are TAF TV_NG. On Facebook, we are TAF TV. And on Twitter, we are TAF TV. Cyril Aloysius is my name once again. Until I come your way again next time, to enjoy the rest of your days. Bye for now.